What's up and welcome to Rad Potential. My name is Justin and today we are working on my 92 Miata. I filmed all this already, I just jumped right into it, so this is in the future of this video, but we're gonna jump right into some time lapse of me depowering the steering rack and then throwing new bearings in this bottom end and putting the motor back in the car. So follow along. Well, it's all apart and I made a huge mess. Now we're gonna clean it all up, cut this little thing off, and put it all back together. All right, it's cold as nuts in the garage. We got the heater going, so it's loud, but we started putting bearings in. We got two in the first two rods. We're gonna finish these rods, push all the rods down, do the main bearings, drop the crank in and tighten and torque everything down. So follow along. Well, there you saw we got all the bearings in, crankshaft in, rod caps in. You may or may not have noticed we goofed and put the crankshaft in before putting the thrust washers in. So I had to pull it back out and re-clean everything, re-lube it back up. Pain in the butt, but it's done. So now you can follow along. I'm just gonna get all the accessories, the front end back together, put the oil pickup and the window tray back on, and clean the pan up, put it back together, and then we'll start getting ready to go back in the car. So now that we got the motor all back together and all the accessories back on, I'm working on putting it Well, I took it off the stand. Now I'm gonna get the clutch and flywheel on, and then we will bolt our 6-speed back up. But in the meantime, I forgot and now remembered that I need to create a new block-off plate for this side of the oil pan. Since we are no longer running this motor turbo, see there's another drain on the Mazda Speed on this side. I just cut a little piece of flat stock and put a little gasket in there, sealed it up, and that held it fine. Leak-free while we were running it turbo, but now I'm gonna get rid of the turbo drain, do the same thing, build a little block-off for this side. All right, check it out. The Miata's back together 95% of the way. Still waiting on an intake to show up so I can plumb our intake wires and stuff. But otherwise, it's all hooked together and plumbed. I got everything buttoned up underneath, and now we're gonna push it out of the garage. That's gonna sum up putting the Miata back together because we're starting on something else. So we'll check in once I get the intake ready and back together, and then we will plumb it and we'll start tuning the Mega Squirt to run naturally aspirated since we're back to NA. So look forward to that. We'll get it tuned, put a couple 100 miles and break in the new bearings, the new motor. But we're gonna wait for more parts to come. Calvin's got the rear finish panel painting it, and the hardtop, it's about to be looking factory fresh. So thanks for following along with this one. Keep it rad.